Hi, guys. Welcome back to the Sing Confidently Live Creatively podcast. Estelle here. Today, I want to share one tip that is actually a strategy. It is actually a strategy for singers, and I need you to listen up, you guys. Okay. This is a strategy that we need to be implementing way more than I see us implementing it now. I mean, just from like the singers that I talk to and have worked with. And even I see it in myself, like sometimes I forget about this strategy. And so I want to share this with you. And I really, really want you to take it to heart and don't don't put it off when you hear what it is. Really try to take it to heart, hear what I have to say about it, and put it into action, okay? Because I truly, truly believe it will help you, okay? So, what is the strategy? Before I get into it, first of all, hi, my name is Estelle. If you don't know me, I'm a voice teacher, performer, singer, and I have like an online studio, Creatively Performing Arts, through which I offer free resources like this podcast and also a course, online voice lessons, masterclasses, etc. So that's a little bit about me. I also I'm a freelance voice teacher and a music teacher here in North Carolina. So yeah, I just feel like I should introduce myself a little bit because I don't have an official intro anymore, but I want you to know what, if you're new to the show, what you're getting. Okay. And also, if you do listen to the show or have listened to the show before and you've never left a review, I just want to ask you very gently that if you don't mind, I'd love for you to leave a review on Apple Podcast. It just really helps this show get out to more people. My goal for this show, Sing Confidently, Live Creatively, is the same goal that I have for my online studio, Creatively Performing Arts, which is for us to become performers and people who are living creative lives. I just want us to live fully creative lives. And so leaving a review helps the show reach more people who are yearning to live creative lives. And maybe they just don't know where to start. And so I hope that this show is that beginning place for them. Is that space where people can come back to the arts as adults and really jump in and take that first step. And so, yeah, you leaving a review helps me to accomplish that mission. So, yeah. Okay, so what is this strategy that I've been beating around the bush about? This strategy is recording yourself and listening back to yourself, okay? As a singer, if you are not doing this on a consistent basis, I feel like you're not allowing yourself to grow in the way that you could. And I've talked about this before as being like, oh, by the way, this is like a helpful thing that you can do. But I need to uplift it a little bit more. I need to make it a little bit more central as like, this is an essential thing to do. I know when I first started taking voice lessons in college back in 2017, 2018, when I first started taking voice lessons, my voice teachers would encourage me to record our lessons together so that I could go back and listen back and sing along with the warm-ups and remember what we worked on in lessons. Because sometimes, you're in the moment, you're present, and you just forget, and it's hard to take notes on everything. And I would do that, and I would listen back, and I would sing along with the warm-ups and all of that stuff. But for some reason, I guess I kind of like forgot how relevant that was to me and how important that was for me. But then when I came back when I left medical school and came back to North Carolina in order to pursue a creative career, which, by the way, if you don't know that, that's a part of my story. I went from medical school to now being in music school. And so I had this huge transition where I was like, okay, I'm going to really pursue this as a career. And that was when I was like, I'm going to do this. And it was in that time that I started taking voice lessons again consistently. And I would also record myself, and I would create like little TikToks and reels and videos on Instagram and stuff of me singing. And I would watch back and I would listen back. And it was doing that outside of voice lessons that also helped supplement my growth over time. I truly believe that because you have a lesson once a week, and it's great if you record it and you listen back to it. But then even throughout the week or even throughout the months that if you aren't taking lessons, you have this amazing opportunity in your literal hand. If you're listening to this on your iPhone or your smartphone, you have this opportunity, even if you have a laptop, an iPad, you have an opportunity to record yourself watch yourself back, listen to yourself back, and notice the things that you just can't notice in the moment when you are doing the thing, when you are singing. And it was really helpful for me to have TikTok and be able to watch myself back and notice, oh, I didn't even notice that, like, whenever I get to this note, when I sing this song, I tend to pull back a little bit. I tend to lose some of my volume or lose some of my power, or I tend to really flip dramatically here to a lighter head voice instead of, mixing. And I want to work on mixing a little bit more, coordinating my chest voice and my head voice more intentionally. And you just won't notice these things sometimes if you are just singing by yourself and you're not getting feedback from a coach. But even if you are getting feedback from the coach, which is great and super helpful and super necessary, it's not you're not hearing it for yourself. You're not noticing those things for yourself. You're getting that feedback from someone else, which is great. But it's also helpful for you to be able to hear that back for yourself. And so that's a little bit of my background of like how that has helped me. Also, in this last year, I haven't really been in consistent voice lessons. I have worked a little bit with my voice professor. I've been taking voice classes, like group classes on the voice, teaching about the voice and how to teach the voice. So I've been like using the strategies that I take, that I learned from my voice professor in my own life. And like this last month, I just did like a group voice class, basically, in my summer program that I did on campus at Columbia, which is where I'm getting my master's in music from. And so that was like kind of getting voice lessons as well. But I haven't had like consistent private voice lessons, actually, because I've been so focused on teaching, being a teacher, and also doing my program, like the master's. It's a master's, so it takes a lot of effort and energy, and also life and so many things. And so but what has been helpful for me is that I record myself. I work on my voice every day. I do my voice practice every day, and I often record myself singing, and I watch it back and I look back and I notice things, and then I work on that again. I also have a tracker. I keep track of it. It's a little bit crazy, but like I keep track of like, what am I noticing in my voice? What do I want to what do I want to change? What do I want to adjust? What am I loving? What can I appreciate? And so that's a little bit about my experience with recording myself and listening back. And let me tell you, every time that I've had my students do this and like have given that to them as an assignment for them to listen back to themselves singing, it has definitely helped. It has definitely helped with their pitch, with and them noticing their pitch, noticing when their pitch is off a little bit, right? And ear training and stuff like that. So it's such a helpful tool. So here's how I want to encourage you to implement this practically. Number one, the first thing that I would say in regards to implementing this strategy of recording yourself and listening back is to, number one, watch yourself. So you can record yourself as like a video recording or an audio recording, but I would encourage you to try both. And if you are doing the video recording, the first thing I want you to do is to watch yourself. And I know that this is hard because we can feel very insecure about our voices, and it's just very vulnerable to sing and then to watch yourself back. It just feels so awkward and uncomfortable. This is why I said don't brush this off when you hear what the strategy is, because it is uncomfortable. I get uncomfortable doing this. Like, I have to make sure that I'm in a comfy spot. I have a nice drink. I'm like trying to relax myself before I watch back, like get in a good mood. And if you got to do that, make sure you do that. Like, get in a good mood, get in a comfy chair, a comfy spot in your house, get a nice drink, cup of coffee, try to be chill as much as you can. But then watch yourself. Watch your performance. And this is aside from listening. So the first thing is to watch yourself. How comfortable are you with your hands? Does your movement look natural? Is your movement more anxious? How are your facial expressions? Do you look bored when you're singing, or do you look engaged, right? Do you look like you are emotionally connected to the song? These are things to watch for when you are watching back your video, and just notice, okay? This is not to condemn. This is not to criticize. I call this kind critiquing, where you are kindly just noticing what is happening and then what are things that you want to adjust, okay? The second thing that you want to focus on when you are recording yourself and you're now watching the video back or listening to the audio back is to listen to yourself. Specifically, ask yourself 2 questions. Number 1, what do you like? When you hear yourself singing, what is one thing that you liked and this is, again, if you're watching the video or if you're listening to the audio recording, notice one thing that you liked. And number 2, notice one thing that you want to adjust. I think it's important to focus on one thing at a time. This is a tool that I've learned in one of my pedagogy classes for to help students with, because it's very overwhelming when you're like, oh my gosh, I heard this and I didn't like that and that happened. Just focus on one thing at a time, because remember, singing is a skill. It's a motor skill. Technique is helpful and important, but it's in the practice of it. And if you're trying to practice multiple things at a time, it can be very overwhelming. So I want you to focus on one thing that you genuinely liked in your voice. Did you like how you soared on that note? Maybe you did a little crescendo that felt very natural. It felt like it sounded like it really fit that part of the song. Whatever it was, notice what you liked. And then what did you want to adjust? Not what do you hate, but what do you want to adjust? Because if you just say, well, I hated that, then that's kind of like putting a stop to that. And you're just like putting like a period at the end. Versus, what do I want to adjust? Just that turn of phrase, just that different word, it shows you that you can change something, that you can make a change. You can actually you can turn things around. It's not the end, right? You don't just, I just hate it and that's it. No. What do you want to adjust? Because that means that you have autonomy. You can do something about it, and you can. And so I really want you to just focus on those 2 questions when it comes to listening. And that's it. So I want to encourage you this week to work whatever song that you're working on, whatever song you've been loving, whether you're in voice lessons or not. Start singing, start working on a song. You guys know I have plenty of vocal warm-ups you can go back to, do a warm-up, and then sing a little bit and record yourself singing. And then I want you to, number 1, watch yourself. Notice your comfortability, your movements, your facial expressions. Number 2, listen to yourself, your voice specifically, and ask yourself those 2 questions. What did you like, and what do you want to adjust? And then you go from there. Maybe you record yourself doing it again, focusing on that one thing you wanted to adjust in your voice, or something you wanted to do differently in your facial expressions, whatever. But you go from there. But this is where you start. This is a key strategy that we need to be using as singers. I really, really encourage you not to take for granted the fact that we have technology and we can do this. And you can honestly be your own little vocal coach, like be your own voice teacher. Don't just rely on other people to tell you what you did well or what you want to adjust. Don't just rely on your voice teacher to give you feedback, even though it's so crucial and so helpful to have outside feedback. But you yourself, it's really, really helpful to start to get a little bit more comfortable with listening to yourself. And that's when you start to fall in love with your voice, actually. A byproduct of this that I've noticed in my own life over the last few years, as I've been more intentional about listening to my voice, I hear changes, I hear growth. And I also hear just beautiful aspects of my voice that I wouldn't notice if I didn't have the courage to watch myself back, even though it feels really cringy and awkward and uncomfortable. It really does. I'm so sorry. It does. But when you do it and you do it again and you do it again, you will notice things in your voice, things about yourself that you didn't notice before and that you can appreciate. And you can be like, wow, that's a beautiful thing. God gave me that gift. Like, wow, I'm like, that's amazing. You'll start to notice like, wow, I can't believe I hit that note in that way. It sounded really good there. Oh, I can't believe like I smiled at that, at that point. Like I didn't realize how much I was smiling at. I look really beautiful, whatever it is that you need to notice in your voice, in yourself, you'll start to notice that when you watch yourself back and listen back to your recording. So I really hope this helps. It is a strategy that I use consistently and I encourage my students to use. So I'm giving this to you. Please take it and run with it. Please, please, please do it. And let me know what you think about it. Let me know if it helps you. You guys can connect with me via our community groups at creativelybyestelle.com/community. You can also feel free to just reach out to me one-on-one via email or on Instagram at creativelybyestelle. So many ways to reach me, but I would love to know what you thought about this episode and if this strategy helped you. Remember, focus on just one song this week, record yourself back, and watch yourself and listen to yourself. Ask yourself those 2 questions. That's your homework. That's your goal for this week. I really hope you do it. Be intentional about doing it and let me know how it goes. Again, come to the community groups, post in there and say, look, this is what I did and this is what I noticed, and I'll be there cheering you on, supporting you every step of the way. You guys know I'm here for you. So again, let me know if you have any questions or if you're not sure about anything, feel free to reach out to me. But again, creativelybyestelle.com/community in order to connect in our community groups. They are free and I'm in there all the time. And then also, if you liked this episode, if this strategy, if this tip helped you and you are going to implement it, please leave a review for the show and let me know what you thought of this episode. It would really, really help. And I want this show to reach even more people. And so you guys leaving reviews helps us all to accomplish that. So thank you so much for being here. Thank you for listening. I cannot say thank you enough. Have an amazing day, and I'll talk to you later. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode and to this show. I'm so in awe of you for being here and showing up for your creative gifts. That takes courage. Don't forget to join the performing arts community on Facebook for support and inspiration as you continue on your journey. If this episode helped or inspired you in any way, please leave a review on Apple Podcasts and share it with someone. It means so much. Thank you again, and don't forget to keep singing, acting, dancing, performing, and living creatively. Talk to you next time.